We're live now. Yay. I feel like we need like some hold music or something. If you've ever gone live on Substack, it's like as soon as you hit go live, it says connecting, connecting, connecting. And you just are waiting for it to finally fire off and say, okay, now you're live. And it's just funny. So I'm like, I need some hold music or something. Count me down. At least when I'm using, like, my, Riverside streaming service that I use to, like, stream onto, YouTube and the Book of Faces, it will actually say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you go live. But on here, no, not so much. But it's all to the good. It doesn't stop the fact that I am live right now, and I am here. Welcome into the Lightwork and Lifetalk podcast with me, Allison Rozelle. I am here today. I have a special message for you, you, and you. Well, of course, I do. I don't have any guests today, so y'all just have me by my lonesome, but I still got a great message for you. So, I welcome you and I thank you for being here. Now, I want to get my notes pulled up. So, welcome to March. At the time of this recording, we are on it's March 2nd. So spring equinox is right around the corner. So that means the true new year is about to pop off. So I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. And the weather is changing in some places. Spring is starting to slowly usher in. We are at the time of this recording in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. And let me just say this. Stop being afraid of Mercury retrograde because all a Mercury retrograde is really doing is basically telling you to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Check your alignment. Check your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you in alignment? Are you steadily trying to swim against the current? Or are you going with the flow? So this gives you the opportunity to really lean into the energy of going with the flow instead of swimming against the current. So don't be afraid of the Mercury retrograde, y'all. It's do not be afraid. It is okay. All right? All right, good. So today, our message, we are going to talk about the three, yeah, 1, 2, 3 signs you are being called to energy healing work. A lot of women who come to me for coaching, for training, um, typically don't really know. Like I've had so many come to me and say, "You know what? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this, but how do I know I'm supposed to be doing this?" Now, when you know, you know. So there's a difference between when you know, but you're fighting it, or when you kind of think so, but it's just for some reason not being picked up clearly. But don't worry, I'm gonna help you out. All right. So I got my notes pulled up. Um, see how I want to start this. Here's the thing. Not everyone is called to be a healer. I just want to put that out there because there are unfortunately a lot of people out here because spirituality is growing in popularity. It's calling for a lot of people to step into these roles that they were never called to be in. Okay. Um, so not everyone is actually called to be a healer in the traditional sense, but Many of us are being called and we're ignoring the signs. We're dismissing those signs. We're telling ourselves, "We're not ready. I'm not ready. I don't know if I can do this," or "I'm making this up." No, you're not making it up. And it's not just your imagination. Just your imagination. It's not. You're not making it up. If you've been feeling a pull toward energy work, toward Reiki, because I'm a Reiki master healer, towards healing modalities, towards holding space for others, there's a reason for that. So today, during this broadcast, I'm going to be sharing those three signs that you're being called to do energy healing work, sacred work that I have been doing since 2019, and I love it. I love it so much. And I'm going to be talking about it a lot. I've got some content that I'm going to be posting in particular on my YouTube channel, but don't fret, my pet. It's going to be in other places too. So I wanted to share this and I want you to pay attention because if one of these or a couple of these or hell all of these resonate, then that means spirit might be trying to tell you something and get your attention. So let's go and dive in. Let's start with sign number one. Sign number one. You feel other people's energy deeply. Hold on. Yes, we are all energy. Yes, we all have the ability to tap into other people's energy. You can kind of feel the energy in a room or around people, but there's a difference when you're called to do this sacred work. So you walk into a room and you immediately know the vibe, like immediately. You can tell when someone's upset, even if they're smiling. Yeah. You pick up on tension that no one else seems to be picking up on. You absorb emotions that aren't even yours. Excuse me. These are telltale signs. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of us who are healers are not only are we empaths, but we're highly sensitive people. So as highly sensitive people or HSPs, we tend to pick up on a lot of energy, a lot of people's feelings. And it's just we just have like this sixth sense about things. A lot of times our clairs are heightened, right? Than the average person. And sometimes it's exhausting. Lord have mercy, it's exhausting. Because I too used to be in that same predicament. I still am. But thankfully I now have the tools to be able to guard my energy and take care of myself to know that how to protect myself before I even go into a room. Because it used to be a long time ago, I was not crazy about being in places with large crowds. And it wasn't because I was afraid of being around people, because, I I tend to joke and say I am an introverted extrovert because I am. I'm a people person, right? So when I go into a space, I'm not scared. It's not intimidating to me. It's just that all of those people, all of those feelings, that energy, the tension, the chatter, the everything is just too much. It's too much. So now I have the tools to know how to navigate that. But along with feeling those people's energy, some of the other things you may have been told that you're too sensitive, you're too emotional. People may have made you feel like this was a weakness, and it's not. It's actually quite the superpower, if you will. But if I told you that this was actually a gift rather than a curse or something bad, would you believe me? So empaths and energy, sensitive people, we're not broken. It feels like that sometimes, but we're not. We're just tuned in. We're just tuned in. That's it. You're picking up on frequencies. And these are frequencies that most people can't access. Um, and in that sensitivity, that's one of the core qualities of being a healer. So here's the key to all this. If you're walking around absorbing eh, any and everyone's energy, because it happens, we're quite magnetic. And this is not just limited to healers. We all kind of absorb energy throughout the day, right? But if you are finding yourself as a highly sensitive person, as an empathic person, you're absorbing everyone's energy without knowing how to protect yourself, how to clear yourself and ground yourself. That's when this becomes a problem. Okay. So, like I said, when I first started tapping into this and understanding, I did not have the tools to clear my energy to protect myself. I didn't know how to do those things. Now I do. But when you learn how to work with your sensitivity rather than against it, when you learn how to channel it, protect it, and use it intentionally, that's when you can step into your power as a healer. So if you've always been feeling like you just feel everything, that's a sign. What's that comedian, that guy? I think his name was Bill Engvall. Here's your sign. That's one of your signs. Sign number 2, people naturally come to you for comfort, wisdom, and guidance. It's like you're not trying to do this, you're not trying to attract people, but for some reason, you're the friend that everybody calls when they're going through stuff, right? You're the coworker that all the people in the workspace come to and confide in, tell you all their business while you just trying to eat your lunch. You're the family member that everyone turns to when they need advice, even when you didn't ask to be in that role. Because I'm that person. I'm like, I didn't ask for this shit. I don't want this. I don't want it. I just want to be left alone. Like, I'm serious. I just want to be left alone or to just choose, like, ugh, again, when you learn the tools. Yeah. But people feel safe around you. That's the thing. They feel safe with you. They open up to you in ways that they don't do with other people. And sometimes you don't really have to say much. You don't really have to say anything at all. It's just your presence. Your presence is healing. Your presence, they feel safe. They feel like they can let their guards down. They feel like they can be their most authentic self. They feel like this is a judge-free zone. Like you're not going to judge them. You're not going to put them down for thinking or feeling some type of way, or they can get an honest assessment or feedback to what they said because they know you're going to keep it real, but you're going to do it and deliver it in a loving way, compassionate way, right? And you may have noticed this like your whole life. And it's been like this for me much of my adult life. Even as a teenager. Even as a teenager, people just, classmates just I don't know why I feel like I need to just talk to you or why, talking to you is just so easy. I don't know. I don't know. And you probably never thought much about it. You might have even felt burdened by it sometimes because, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you'll be like, "Why does everyone come to me with all their problems? I don't got my own problems. Why I need yours?" But that's because this burden, if you will, is actually your calling. So people are drawn to your energy because there's something in you that creates a space for healing. There's something in your presence that just allows people to just exhale, to be seen, to be held, to be heard. And if you're doing this informally, or you've been doing this pretty much your whole life, you've been holding space, you've been offering comfort, you've been that safe person. Imagine what you could do if you were trained. Mhm. If you had the tools, the techniques, and the confidence to step fully into that role. Oh, the magic you could create, my sister. Yes. Yes. That's what healing work gives you, especially energy healing, particularly Reiki. It gives you the structure, the skills to do what you've already been doing, but you can now do it intentionally and with boundaries, hmm with clarity, with power. Mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. So if people are always coming up to you, always unburdening themselves, telling you all their business, that is a sign. Sign number 3, you experience physical sensations connected to energy. Let me explain. Let me just say what this might look like. Your hands get warm or tingly for no reason. You feel buzzing or vibration in your body, especially when you're meditating or praying. Or if someone else is like praying and you're like in a group prayer or something like that. And you're um in meditation, you might feel like a buzzing vibration in your body. You feel energy move through you, and sometimes it's in your chest, your hands, or on your crown. I will never forget, and this is before my spiritual awakening. I'll never forget, I went to this, hey, Goddess Sandy. I went to this particular event, and actually, I was in my spiritual awakening, but it had just started. But anyway, one of the women that was part of this woman's event, she got up, grabbed that microphone, and when I tell you, Sister Gal prayed, and it was such a beautiful, moving prayer. It wasn't preachy. It was just like soul stirring. It touched me to my core. And boy, my crown chakra was buzzing away. Like I could feel all this tingling and sensation. And I'm looking around like, shit, is anybody else doing this? Cause like, wow, it was just it was tingling like crazy. And when she was done, I could actually feel the energy like going through my body. It was amazing. It was amazing. Um, you have vivid dreams or visions that feel like messages, or you actually receive a lot of messages in your dreams. It might also look like you just know stuff. You just know things. And it's you just have intuition like a mofo that just hits. Um, So these are some of the physical sensations that are connected to energy that might be an indication that you're being called as a healer. So these aren't just random things. They're signs that your energetic body is awake, that your spiritual gifts are activating, that you're receiving information through channels most people have shut down. Here's the thing. Um, oh, thank you. Here's the thing. A lot of people, especially when you're not um people who are still kind of locked into the dogma of organized religion. They're not deconstructing, they're not doing any of those things. So oftentimes what ends up happening is those people will shut down all of their like their clairs. So excuse me, there's 5. There's clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and then others that I never remember what they are, but they act they're in alignment with your senses. So your sense of smell, your sense of touch, your sense of taste, your sense of hearing, your sense of sight. Some people in their intuitive hits, they see things. Some people hear things. Some people feel things. And when I say feel things, it's not that they touch necessarily, or it might get activated and they touch something, but it's like they feel something and it tingles in their body. And if they hear something, it's not necessarily um a voice. It's just like for me, words. Like, and it's like words just pop into my head. Or, like I had posted something earlier about a card, 2 cards actually that I pulled, and I started hearing as I was typing out and telling everyone about this, started hearing Diana Ross, "I'm coming out," and it was just like confirmation on some things, right? Excuse me. So, um, a lot of people suppress that and tell themselves that they don't have that. I will submit to you, whether you're called to be a healer or not, whether you're called to be a light worker or not, we all have a level. Thank you, Goddess Sandy. We all have a level of intuition. Do you choose to tap in and and hear it? Let it guide you, or do you suppress it? We all have a level of that. But when you're called as a healer, it can be heightened. And let me just say this, because I'm actually gonna make a video about this, but Reiki actually heightens your intuition. So if you have blocks like within your third eye, or you're wanting to deepen your abilities of maybe your psychic abilities or tap into your intuition all the more, Reiki can help with that. It really, really can. Can and does. So, yes. So, like I said, these things, they're not random. And here's what I want you to understand. If you're experiencing any of these things, it means you're already connected. You've already tapped in. You just been taught not to allow it, and you haven't really been shown how to work with it. That's okay. Because again, when I first started feeling these sensations, when I first started my journey, I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what to do with them. I just kind of felt like a fish out of water. And then, luckily, my Reiki master talked about how Reiki can heighten your intuition. So when it happened, and I started like really, like, tapping in and, like, hearing things and kind of feeling within my knowing, and, I'm like, "Oh, okay," because it's always been there, but then once I got that, it just kinda heightened it a little more, and so it's like, "Oh, okay. So that's what we're doing." That's why I can, like, if you've ever been on any of my lives on TikTok, sometimes, people pass through, and even alive on here, I've had it happen here too. People come through and they become part of the lives. They're sitting in the audience and whatever. And it's like I'll start feeling, I'm like, somebody here is really like holding back on their energy and they really need to let it go. Or, oh my goodness, somebody needs to take a breath. Everybody take a breath right now. That has happened to me so many times. I'll be in the middle of a webinar and I'll be like, you know what? Before we go any further, everybody, let's take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So somebody need to breathe. Somebody's holding their breath. I can feel that because it starts feeling tight for me. And, that, that connection, I don't always want to do that, but I do. And it happens. And, I'm not mad at it. But yeah, when I found Reiki, everything clicked. Everything started clicking. Suddenly I had this framework, I had practices, I had protection means and all this. And it was just everything that I needed to help me on my journey as a healer. So if you've been experiencing physical sensations, intuitive knowings, energetic self-awareness, that is sign number 3. So let's just do a little recap here. All right. So sign number 1 was you feel other people's energy really deeply. Like I said, it's not just you have a little sense of something or whatever. No, this is like a deep sensing of other people's energy to where sometimes it's almost uncomfortable. Like I said, when I would go into a crowded room full of people with all these different emotions and energy and all this other stuff, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, what is happening in this room?" And people would just be sitting there talking, laughing, drinking, whatever, like nothing is going on, and I'm like, "Do y'all not feel that?" Like, what? Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. Number 2 sign is people naturally come to you for comfort, for wisdom, for guidance, because they're just drawn to you. They feel safe with you. And then, of course, sign number 3, you experience those physical sensations connected to energy. Now, here's the thing I really want you to hear. If you recognize yourself even in one of those signs, you're not imagining it. This is real. You are being called. And that's amazing. And I know it can feel scary. I know it can be like, but I'm not ready. Or who am I to be called to do this? No one's going to listen to me. Listen here. I would say that to myself when I first got the call, the tap. I was like, okay, I hear what you're saying, God, but me? Why? Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to tune in to, what I got to say? Who cares what I have to say? I'm just me. Mm-mm. This is a high calling. This is a privilege. This is something that should be honored. Now, yes, you can turn it down. You can say, "Nah, I don't really want that life." Because I'll tell you, it it's not always unicorns and rainbows. It can get quite dark. Because as you're on your journey of being a healer, there is healing that you have got to do. So you are going to be challenged to go into those dark places and do that shadow work and be honest with yourself on some things, or else it's not gonna work. And I think that's the thing that kind of grinds my gears about a lot of people who are stepping into these roles as spiritual coaches and healers, and they themselves are not doing the work. And it actually, for a lot of us, looking at them, it's kind of obvious because a lot of them will present a lot of things that are kind of generic, you know? Um, they don't tend to tell their story too much, because they don't want too many people close to them, and I get it. But I knew a long time ago that once I accepted this, part of my ministry is my vulnerability, my being real with the people that I'm asking to follow me, to trust me, to invest in themselves, to work with me. I would feel kind of like a hypocrite if I'm not being vulnerable and sharing with you that, hey, yes, I have been called to do this work, but guess what? I also suffer from depression and anxiety. Doesn't make me any less gifted. It just means that I have struggles too. But I have tools to help me with those struggles. Now, sometimes I can reiki myself from sun up to sundown and the depression still wins. It still wins. It still comes on and it's like, yeah, but I'm here, so you're gonna get comfortable and, just gonna have to deal with me for a minute. That's okay. I can say that because I now understand how to navigate a lot of this. I now understand how to, as long as I'm not in the valley for a long time, I don't mind being in it for a little while. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do. And I keep holding on to what I know to be true. I know I'm safe and I know I'm good. So, um, but here's another part that I need a lot of Black women and women of color to please understand this. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You don't. You don't. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. That's it. You just have to be willing. You just have to be willing. You just have to be open. You have to be willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to step into what spirit is calling you to. The world needs more healers. The world needs more Black women and women of color who are grounded, who are trained, who are confident in their gifts. Goddess, the world needs you. You and all your beauty, all your talent, all your intelligence, all your beautiful, majestic healing power that you have. And I just want to help you learn how to channel it and use it in a way that not only heals your clients, but heals you too. Make it part of your lifestyle. Does that mean that you're going to be giving yourself Reiki every day? Maybe. I have moments where I don't feel called to do self healings at all. Hell, I went like a couple of weeks. It's like I wasn't feeling it. But I had other modalities, whether it be meditation, whether it be breath work, whether it be tapping, whether it be sound healing, going outside and just being in nature. Yes, being in nature. Yeah. So I just want to let you know that I have a Reiki certification and mentorship program coming. So next week is the official launch. I haven't even really named it yet, so but I got it together. But I'm really excited about putting this out here because I haven't actually like taught Reiki in a long time because I taught Reiki for a few years and I did it live online so many times. I had so much content. I just built out my course and let it just be on autopilot for a long time. And it's been working. I've been certifying a lot of beautiful Black women who were stepping into their power as healers, right? And they did it on a do it yourself level where they could do it on their own, time or whatever. I have it. The proof is in the pudding. I've got um reviews. That's the word I'm looking for. God, this perimenopause is a bitch with my brain. But I've got reviews about it. So, I know a little something. So just stick with me and you will see that I am launching it next week and give you the opportunity to come and work with me and learn Reiki and be mentored by me. So before we go, I did pull a card for us, and I pulled it from Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle deck by Abiola Abrams. So let's see what the card is because I didn't look. I pulled the card, but I didn't look at it. What else to be surprised together? All right. Ooh, creature of air. Creature of air. Now, I want to explain these cards for people that don't know. So, this particular deck is an oracle version of tarot cards. Tarot cards have the major arcana cards, and then there are the four suits. You have cups, pentacles, um, swords and wands, right? And I'm not here to give a whole tarot lesson, but this is why you see creature of air because it's tarot like. So, okay, let's look at that. It's card number 34. You are highly driven and running toward what you want in pursuit of your desires. The speed is evident, but where's the heart? If you're asking a yes or no question, this ancestor leaps forward with a slither to say no. Make a decision. Speak your mind. Slow down. Make aligned choices. Your passion and confidence are clear. If someone is coming to you, remember you don't have to attend every fight or if someone is coming at you, should I say. You don't have to attend every fight you're invited to. Your reckless communication style is not working. Their ancestors are the most analytical. There's a difference between being assertive and arrogant or out of control. So the declaration or affirmation for this is I am willing to take my time. And I love that this came up because when I first started the broadcast, I told you all don't be afraid of Mercury retrograde because the Mercury retrograde is here to make you slow down. And I'll just be damned if this didn't just say, you got to slow down because you don't listen. You don't have to hurry. I know we're in this culture where everything is quick, 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 and we gotta go fast, and we gotta hustle, and we gotta get this, and we gotta do this, and gotta do that, and get there in a hurry, and all this other stuff. Pumpy brakes. Take a breath and just slow it all the way down. Cause you got this. You don't need to rush anything. You are right on time. You are right on time. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Those of you that are here live, I appreciate you being here with me. And for those that are watching the replay or listening to this on the podcast, again, I appreciate you. Oh, one more thing, because I can do this. Don't forget my book, 7 Steps to Spiritual Liberation for Black Women. Since it is not Black History Month anymore, but it is Women's History Month, and I am a woman. So get this book. The link will be in the description. I love you all to Della Reese's Pieces. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. See you later.